da da mo yo 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 yo. Da 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 mo yo yo yo. Da 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 da. Dr. Epstein, let me hear you. Da da da. Mazel tov. Oh yo 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 yo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Shaton yebidvaroim. Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lunishmas, Imi, Merossi, Ruspas Mordechai. Rabbi Isai, tremendous mazel tov. My tire chaver, Avi Kamiansky, became a Zayda for the first time. Ben Zochor. Tzanigin. Shalom, shalom, ay Yisrael, ay ay, urevani, levanecha, shalom, shalom, ay Yisrael, urevani, levanecha, shalom, shalom, ay Yisrael. And a tremendous mazel tov to the great-grandfather for the first time, Dr. Epstein. And avada to the uncle, Rabbi Hillel. Zevi, the father, is also part of our daf, believe it or not. Does the daf, is he still doing? Yeah. Shayed, the uncle, Shayed, all in the corner. Avada. The ganze Mishpacha. Wow. Hayom chamisha v'esrim yoim. Sheim shlisha shavuos v'arba'a yomim lo imer boimer. Rabbi Isai, to remind the Olam to flip over the sand, the chol, to hour of chulin, another 5 days. See Masechtas Menachos in, where is this? In Belgium, and in Muncie, Kiryas Yoel. Reserve the date, a siyum for Menachos in Staten Island with the bridge, the Verrazano. What else do we have? The Monastrich. And then we have people who sent in a few things. Not that many. Rabbi said you could still win your $2,000, $1,000. This guy was awesome in Hebrew. He's in Hebrew, so we put subtitles. But check this out, a 12-year-old kid, יהודה מיכאלי from רחובות. צריכים סיבה למה להצטרף לדף היומי של MDY? אז אולי ילד בן 12 יכול לתת לכם דרבון. לפני שנה הייתי חוזר מהחיידר, עייף ויגע. ואז אבי מורי הראה לי את הרעיון שרבלי עשה להידברות. ונפעמתי איך שרבלי יכול להחליט לעזוב הכל, ובמקום להתעסק בבניינים בעולם הזה, הוא החליט לבלוט בניינים בעולם הבא. ואמרתי לעצמי, למה לחכות? להתעסק בנדל"ן, ואז לעזוב הכל וללמוד. אם אפשר להתחיל עכשיו, וכבר באותו יום הצטרפתי למסכת מכות. מאז התחלתי להצליח בהכל. הגמרא שלמדנו בכיתה התחילה לקבל צבע. הרב בחיידר דיבר על מנחות, והרגשתי שאני נמצא עם הכהן באמצע להקריב איתו קורבן. רבו ישראל, זה ישנה לכם את החיים. אתם תצליחו יותר בעבודה, יותר בשלום בייס, וגם בשידוכים, נראה לי. אז למה אתם מחכים? כבר בגיל שלי הבנתי שאם לא עכשיו ומתי יצטרפו אלינו, כל עוד רבלי מדליק את הנר, אפשר לתקן. You like it? You vote for him? You vote for him. He gets high votes. Rabbi Isai, I like this one. I like this one because it's natural and he's reaching out, doesn't have a lot of AI.
Okay, I was just going to make this a flyer, but since Eli Stefansky asked that we make videos, I'm making a video. Menachos Chulin starting on May 2nd. If you know anything about me, I know you guys have already been seeing a lot of my stuff. I'm a big fan of MDY. I'm a big fan of the Daf Yomi cycle, and it's been instrumental to my life, and I know it's going to be instrumental to other people's lives. To put my money where my mouth is, I'm raffling off a pair of AirPods Pro for LA members only who sign up before May 2nd. Get your free Gemara, enter into the raffle. You have a high chance. Not a lot of people sign up in LA, and I want to incentivize more people. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I've been inspired, let's just say, by the lack of turnout to the satellite locations here. So I'm doubling down on that thought and encouraging people to stay home with these AirPods Pros. Let's go sign up. לחבר'ה שמדברים בעברית, גם כן יש אלי סטפנסקי בעברית. גם יכולים להצטרף גם כן ככה. אני אשים את הלינק, click the link below, and let's go!
Shilin and Chulin in MDY next week. Join the MDY booth at this year's Montreal Jewish Expo this Tuesday, April 28th. Thank you, MDY's Isaac Blackman, for sponsoring the booth. Shkoyach Gadol. And Shulin Goldstein for arranging it. Big Simcha, Mazel Tov to Rebari, checking out on some Shimmy's Vart in Lakewood. And those guys all went in there for the Vart. Now, hold on a second. Oy vavoy. Mark, tell Mark Ashkenazi to put it in. Are you with the Mark? Yeah. Put in Fischl's flyer. I thought I put it in myself. He's not on? Maybe I'll send it to you. Hold on. Very, very important to put it in. The last one. I'm sending it to you, Gary, and you put it in. What? You have it? Mark's on. Okay, he got it. Mark's doing it. Phoenix, Arizona, talking about Mark. Phoenix, Arizona has a satellite location. We've moved every day from Sunday through Thursday and Motzei Shabbos, 9:10 live. Right now it's live because right now it's 9:10 p.m. in Arizona, so you can go. Rabbi said one more.
If you follow my way of life, I promise I will change your life.
If you come to work out with me, it will change your life.
If you try my diet, it will change your life.
If you buy my online course, it will change your life.
Rabbi Sai, they're all wasting your time. If you want to change your life, join MDY and start Maseches Chulin this week. I promise it will change your life. If you don't believe me, then maybe this will convince you.
Maseches Chulin didn't just change my life, it ended my life.
That was me. If you learn Maseches Chulin, it will change your life, and you can eat me at the Seyum.
Learning Daf Yomi has changed my life. Start Maseches Chulin, it will change your life too.
This video is almost as good as mine.
It's supposed to be like Yoshi.
For better videos, learn Daf Yomi with MDY.
Nishlecht. So we had a lot of good. All right. Do we start here or what? Rabbi says, Shalom Yuda Felder, an Avrich in Koilel in Cleveland. He says that, what? Anu Tassim, Aim Tassim. Here's another one of him learning. He says like this. I wasn't sure if I should send him the picture because it would be a chilul MDY when people will see that I was sitting with the peasants, not in business class. But as Rabbi always says, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. P.S. I was really learning even though I knew the picture was being taken. I would like to clarify machlokes they had with Nachman Seltzer yesterday. Maybe the woman in the two, maybe he was referring to your wife. Is that what you're referring to? That's the clarification. Rabbi said one last thing before we go into the sponsors is that Fischl once again is putting together unbelievable thing. If it's your first time doing Daf Yomi and you go through his group and you're in America, you have to have American Social Security, you live in America, you speak English, you could join his WhatsApp, you have to put in, he has a few very strict rules. You can't miss a day. You have to put in a comment every day about what you saw on the daf, any comment. And he wants you to do chazara also, but you can do it with only nothing but the daf chazara, and you can get $1,000. And one of the sponsors here was not me, was my son. I couldn't believe it. He didn't tell me. Rabbi Aaron Stefansky, because he was inspired by Fischl. He finished a few Masechtas because of Fischl, so he's giving back. Yishkoyach Rabbi Aaron. Sirius Haim is dedicated to the Refuah Admor Mevision Shlita, the MDY Coffee Corner, Kvoida Tefillah Committee, Dalif Neimiyat Ta'oimed, Fischl edition MDY Shas, the Masechta by the Iranian Levi families. Perik, Anonymous, Lilu Nishmas, Nochem Tzvi, Ben David, Shalhoiv, Zechron al-Bracha. I think this is the new, let me see. Yeah, that's the new Masechta sponsor. This Perik sponsors the new Masechta, I believe. Daf Kovav, Avram Tikotsky, Harav Zev ben Avram Yehuda, in memory of Harav Zev ben Avram Yehuda. He's the one that the first day that we moved out of the Beis Medrash on the first day of COVID, or that we implemented COVID rules, a very depressing day. We had a packed Beis Medrash, over 100 people throughout Brachas, and went down to zero. I was in my dining room by myself, pretty down, like thinking to myself, this is gonna end the whole thing. We had a great run, and what's going on? Everybody says, Bo Shabbos, Bo Menucha, and here we go, Shabbos, Daf Kuf, Yud Gimel, whatever it was, boom. And there arrives a giant box, this big. Avram Tikotsky sent me a beautiful, famous artist painting, a beautiful, it's hanging by my front door, and it lifted me, and it took weeks to get there, and punk that day it arrived, it was beautiful. The Masechta sponsor David Salomon, who dedicated memory of Avi Meir Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zichron Levracha. Joel Gedalis, the Nishmas, my father Jackie Dalis, Anonymous, Tzlach Baruch Niziv Gashmis, the Palchik Family Foundation, Zech Nishmas, her Avagor Reb Shlomo Palchik, the message is Ilui. Anonymous for Shtema Moshe Ben Izah, Anonymous for complete refuah Shtema and Arichas Yom to Leah Bas Esther Yisrael Maki Tov L'Torah Spichim Avi Zov Chesed. We are so proud of you, Yaakov Mordechai. Keep steiging. Send the girls and family, Canvey Ireland, UK, in honor of Reb Eli, who changed my meaning of life. Plenty Almoini, Yossi, Mark, and Benny, and all the Iskim Tzarchem DY. Kishborch Yishalom Scharim. Ari Simon, the refuah Shtema Avi Meir Baruch Ben Miriam. MDY Kids, Innovations LLC as a schus for Akiva Simcha Ben Fege and Rivka Yehudas Bas Yafa Chaya. Daily sponsors Sprinty and Alan Gross in memory of our aunt Toba Esther Bas Elio Alea Shalom, and great aunt Esther Bas Rabbi Yaakov Koppel Alea Shalom. Moshe Shani Shlafrak Linishmas Menachem Michiel Ben David Alevi. The Nisham should have an Aliyah. Anonymous, the Refuah Shlema of Mayor Shalom Ben Aliza Nechamu, who's having surgery today. Refuah Shlema. Daily sponsors to the consortium, we see you, we hear you, and we appreciate you, the Alliance. MDY Art. Refuah Shlema Yonatan Edom Ben Shav Bracha. Refuah Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Hayela Daniel Zev Ben Ayelet Esther. Rabbi Isai, we're holding in the middle of a sugya. Now I know, because it's towards the end of the Masechta, there are a bunch of people who today's their very first day, so have no fear. We are in the middle of a sugya. You could even understand this, but if not, there's always a new sugya, always a new Mishnah, and that's how Daf Yomi rolls. We're holding on the top of Daf Kuf Vav Amud Aleph, 3 lines down, Vaha. So what's going on here? We learned that if somebody says he's going to donate a mincha, could be one of these 5 menachos. We're not exactly sure which one he meant. So he brings them all. It could be that he meant a mixture. The Gemara says it can't go according to Reb Shimon, and then the Gemara says it does go according to Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon is the one that says it can actually be a mixture of chalas and rikikin. So if that's the case, it can't be Reb Shimon. The Gemara says, yeah, it could be Reb Shimon. Could be, yeah. You make a t'nai. You say, I don't know exactly how many of each. It could be, maybe I gave 5 chalas, 5 rikikin, whatever it is. Whatever my chayv is, whatever my obligation is, that's what I'm giving. The rest is going to be an adava, a gift to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the Gemara says, but how do you do kmitza? The Gemara went into that. Now the Gemara says, but wait a minute. With every mincha, you have to bring oil. What do you do with the leftover oil? And if you don't know what to do with the leftover oil, you can't bring this mincha at all. What's the problem? The mechza chalos and mechza rikikin omar, if in fact he did mean half and half, the chalos and rikikin, moisar Hashem machzir lechalis. Then the halacha would be, take the leftover oil, whatever's left over, put into the challah side, not to the rikikin, to the challah side. Kulu rikikin omar, and if he said, by the way, I got to tell you, last night I was rushing to get to this video. It was such an unbelievable video that I'm going to show you soon. It also, I don't know if it qualifies for the $2,000 because it's from one of our artists, but it's just top notch. And I'm excited to tell you about it. We're going to get there in like 10, 15 minutes. But you'll let me know if he qualifies. Probably not, because he's one of the employees. And I'll explain to you that for the Hebrew, the nuances, the way this guy, he sits on this table every night and he says, energia, he throws out these words. So the whole movie, the guys were on the floor. Be'ezer Hashem, you guys also. Zot Gemara. I'm getting you excited. We're going to see. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. 10 minutes. Teaser. Now, the problem is, if it's all challah, if it's half and half, put the leftover oil, put it into the challah. Ikul rikikin omar. But if he said, I'm bringing only rikikin, moiser Hashem and nechal kohanim. We have a problem here. What do? Do you give the leftover to the kohanim, or do you pour it into the batch? You can't just make something up here. You can't just give it to the kohanim if you have to pour it into the batch. You can't pour it into the batch. You have to give it to the kohanim. Says Gemara, I have an eitzah. It goes like Reb Shimon ben Yehuda, also Rosh Tevis Rosh B. Deciding Reb Shimon ben Yehuda, Omer Mishum Reb Shimon, if it goes like him, we have a good eitzah. What do? Moishchan kimin ki. This is also like coming back. What's kimin ki? So we had a major machlokes, a different sheet, not a machlokes. So Rashi over here says it's like a test. Rashi in Hoyer says a ches. Rashi in Shmoy says a chaf. Rashi in Krisis says it's a X. The Rambam says it's a X. In Chumash, it's a Gimel. The Aruch says it's a V. B'kitzer, if you go with most of the sheet, it's more like a chaf, upside down, sideways. Test is just missing the little. People say he really meant a chaf. Just it's like a little, a test has a little piece on top, like that, top right corner. Okay, the point is that you write some sort of letter on the challah. So this idea, if we hold like Reb Shimon ben Yehuda, no matter what, even if it's the chalas, it goes to the kohanim. Even if it's the rikikin, it goes to the kohanim. So at the end of the day, we know what to do with the oil. That's not a problem. So think about it. These are the 5 menachos that what a person says, stam, he doesn't explain what. He says, I want to bring a mincha. It could be one of these. Now the question is, aren't there other menachos? One of the menachos that we spoke about yesterday is called Minchas Nesachim. Minchas Nesachim is a mincha that comes together. It's a little confusing. So towards the end of the Masechta, let's just figure it out. Let's just discuss it. Nesachim comes with every single shlamim and every single oila. Every time you bring a carbon oila or a carbon shlamim, you must bring a Minchas Nesachim. It includes wine, it includes oil, it includes flour, depending on the size of the animal. So let's say if we're going to go with the smallest animal, a sheep, so you have to bring 3 lug of wine, 3 lug of oil, and one isarn of flour. Maybe that's what the guy meant. By the way, this is important. You could bring a nesachim all by itself, without an animal. I could say, I want to bring the nesachim that I typically bring with the bull. I want to bring which requires more wine. I want to bring the basic one, the one that goes with the sheep. So that would be 3 lug of each. 3 lug of yain, 3 lug shem, and a revius. That's called a revius. Revisahin. Soilus. But maybe, hold on. Oh. Okay, we'll have to remind the Olam about the Siman Mesechtes Menachos. It's coming up this Thursday night, Rabbi. This Thursday night in Bnei Brak. Promising to be a very, very nice event. Yishkoyev Tavi Kamiansky donated a very nice sum, Erev, becoming a grandfather. There's going to be mutter music. We didn't get a heter. We went to Rabbi Weiss. He couldn't find us a good heter. I mean, he said there are, but we're not going to do it. There's going to be vocals, a bunch of professional vocalists. There's going to be a special demonstration that has to do with Mesechtes Menachos. And some cool stuff. It's gonna be really nice. Good food, good times, and a live shir in Hebrew because it's at night. So it's gonna be the live shir in Hebrew, and Mamish gonna do a siyum. So okay, Rabbi said, perhaps this is maybe when he said a mincha, he didn't mean the 5 menachas that we keep on talking about. Maybe he's talking about the mincha of nesachim, which you could bring on its own without an animal. The Amarava, as we learned the other day, misnadav adam minchas nesachim b'chol yain. A person, it's not a problem to give an adava to the Rebbeinu Shalom every single day of your life. So now the Gemara, in order to answer the question, the Gemara is going to basically teach us the difference, the 5 differences that there are between a mincha, soilas, machmas, the typical 5 minachas to the nesachim. There are 5 differences, and when you know those 5 differences, the Gemara is saying. The Gemara is arguing that a person is not going to make a mistake between a mincha that has this difference and not. But it teaches us the differences. Siman, what are the differences? Yachid, Biglal, Levaina, Beloig, Mikamtza. That what? Number one. Ba Biglal Yachid, Ba Biglal Tzibur, Mistapkelei. We learned that these 5 menachos, you can't bring even a beshutfus. You can't even have a single partner. So certainly you can't be from the whole community. Whereas Nesachim can be from the whole community. A person is not going to make a mistake. He's not going to say, "Oh, I don't remember. Is it Nesachim that I can't even have a partner, or Nesachim that I could do with everybody?" He won't make such a mistake. Another one. Kikom Mistapkelei, Ba Biglal Atzma. He doesn't confuse a mincha that comes all by itself, like the 5 menachos. There's a mincha that can come together with an animal. He'll remember quite well that he donated a mincha that usually goes with sheep, with bulls. It doesn't go by itself. Another one, Tuna Levaina. Nisachim does not require Levaina. So he's not going to make that mistake. In his mind, he knows whether it has Levaina or not. She'ena Tuna Levaina, Lemistapkelei. Basically, the Gemara is just telling us in a side way all the nafkaminas, a list of 5 nafkaminas. Kikam istapkelei, babaloi. How many, when you have one of these 5 menachos, how much oil is required? 1 lug. And the minimum of an nesachim is how many? 3 lug. A revi sahin. Kikam istapkelei, babaloi, babashleish lugim lemistapkelei. This I could hear. In his mind, he knows exactly. He knows if he's going to have to schlep a huge amount of oil to the Beis HaMikdash is just 1 little bottle. Kim stapkelei, tuna kimitza. She'ena tuna kimitza, loi ka mistapkelei. Minchas nesachim does not require a kimitza. Why not? Think about it for a second. Why does minchas nesachim not require a kimitza? Anybody? What? It comes with? Okay, but what if you bring it by itself? So I don't answer. People that learn all day on Sunday don't get to answer.
It goes on.
You heard him. Rabbi Berkowitz, what are we going to do over here? I don't know who's worse. Okay. Anyway, very good. What did you say? Say it again. Because it all goes on the mizbeach. Why do you do a kmitza? Kmitza means you take a little bit of flour in your hand, and the rest becomes shirayim, and then you could eat. The kohen gets to eat it. But if the entire thing goes on the mizbeach, like a minchas nesachim, everything, where does the wine go on the mizbeach? In the shitin. The oil and the flour goes on the mizbeach. So there's no kmitza over here. A person is not going to confuse himself between a mincha that has a kmitza and a mincha that doesn't have a kmitza. That's why nesachim is out of the question.
Why did they also say wine is different?
Huh?
Minchas nesachim brings wine.
I hear. Good kasha. Zokti Gemara, Pirashti, we learned in the Mishnah, Pirashti Mincha Shel Yisroelim. This was wild, mamish. A guy, he's poor like anything. He doesn't have any money. All he has left is a bag of flour in his house. His wife is going to make a little, bread for the week. And he's going to bring this 1 bag of flour to the Rebbeinu Shalom. That the Gemara said is nefesh. It's mamish is neshama. And because he messed up, he has to bring 1,830 bags of flour. Because he Pashat said the wrong thing, and he doesn't know. Pirashti mincha shel Yisroelim. I said I'm going to bring a mincha of different Yisroelim, and I don't know what I said. Tana Rabbanon, Pirashti mincha shel Yisroelim ve'en yidea ma pirashti. Yavi mincha shel shishim Yisroelim. Divrei Chacham say, you know what? Oh, where? Where are you? I said it. I did. I just skipped the 3 words. It's not. We're not goyers then.
You're goyers in the here.
He's goyers over there. Okay. That those words. Okay. It's very important because it's a little bit. It's negate to the sugya. These words. So maybe who put it in? The Bach sticks it. Okay. That the Bach says basically that the whole sugi is because Rebbe holds that he said I want it in 1 kli. If he wouldn't describe that it's in 1 kli, then you could put it in 60 different kelim. You put each kli, 1 isarim per kli, times 60, and that will get rid of all our problems. Because if he said they wants to bring a 3 isarim mincha, is 3 kelim. If he said 60, here's 60 kelim. The problem is that he said I want it in 1 kli. I want it in 1 kli. So perhaps it's 60 in one kli. Perhaps it's 59 in one kli. So let's do 59 of chayv and 1 of nadav in one kli. You cannot do that. You cannot mix a nadav with a chayv in one kli. So now you're stuck. Now you need 60 kalim that each one has a different shear. One has 1, the next one has 2, 3, 4, etc., all the way up to 60. According to Rebbe. Rebbe Omer, Yavi Menachos shel Yisraelim me'echad v'atshishim shehein b'kovati b'klei echad shel Yisraelim ve'eni yedei ma pirashi. I don't know what I said. Yavi mincha shel shishim Yisraelim divrei chachamim. I read this. I'm going to read it again. He's going to bring a mincha of 60 Yisraelim only once. 160er. Why? Because whatever it is, it'll be in the kli. If I said 20, so 20 out of the 60 should be my mincha that I am chayev. The rest, the 40, are going to be another mincha called a minchas nedava. Just for fun. Just to bring a nedava takash baruch hu. Divri Rebbe. Divri chachamim. Rebbe Omer, what does Rebbe say? Yavi Menachos shel Yisraelim me'echad v'atshishim. This is unbelievable. You bring a kli that has 1 isarin, you bring another kli with 2, another kli with 3, 5, 10, 20, up to 60. Total amount, shehein, elef, u'shmoinim shloshim. How do you do the math? We're going to do it really quick. You take whatever number it is, you do 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So over here we have till 60. You add a 1, so it's 61. You divide it in 2, it's 30. You take that division, whatever number you divide it, 30. 30 times the number that you have. 30 times 60 equals 1800. But there's a 1, so it's 1830. 1830. Pirashti v'enu yudei izmen pirashti v'enu yudei kama pirashti. Oh, what if I don't even know which one of these 5 it is? Now I have to do everything times 5. So according to Chachamim, you bring 60 in one bowl times 5. So it's 5 times 60. How much is that? 300. According to Rebbe, that it's 1830, but it could be any one of these. 1830 times 5 is how much? All pilots can answer. Yeah. Well, it's very simple. If you do 3 times 18 is how much? No. 6 times 18 is how much? Wrong. Okay. So now you have to bring 5 menachos. Each mincha 60 equals 300. Now you have to do 5 times 1830. This is mamish. Hold on a second. A person who brings a mincha, it's a poor person usually. He brings one thing. Over here he's going to have to bring 9,150, which is a tremendous amount of money. It's 15 tons of flour. It's a lot. Here, actually, can't be mataneder. Here we go. This is the amount of flour if you just want to see. Oh, they talk about it. The Rishonim talk about it. The good kasha. One through 60. Let me see how it looks. Each one, I got it. Each one has a different amount times 5. Givaldik. Okay. Yeah, I feel noit to call memoincha. B'chol moedecha. Feel noit to call memoincha. Oh, Rav Chisda. Okay, so now we have. It's coming up, Rabbi. It's coming up. It's coming up. I can't wait. We have 5 mahalchim. We have 5 ways to explain the sugya. 5 ways. Again, what's a machloikis? If a person doesn't know what he donated to the Beis Hamikdash, and it could be 1 through 60, 1 Isarin, 2 Isarin, 60 Yisraelim. So according to Chacham, just bring 60. Bring the highest number. And you make a condition, you make a t'nai, and you say, oh no, you can't leave right before the video on the high definition screen. And a daima. Oh, if I'm already talking about the high definition screen, so thank you very much to the person who donated yesterday these two screens. These two screens are up for donation. And if anybody wants to help me out, that screen is also shtickle schwach compared to those. I'm going to be using that one meanwhile. Anyway, there's 3 screens are still available for donation. Ishkoyach. They're $3,000 each. Three. So Ishkoyach for the 6er, and those are available. Okay. Zok the Gemara. So Nachama. Rebbe says you can't just bring 60 and say, oh, I'm making a condition that if I meant 50, so 50 out of it is chayva and 10 of it is nedava. It doesn't work. And we're going to see why it doesn't work. There's 5 reasons why, according to Rebbe, that doesn't work. Are you allowed to bring into the azara mundane things? Why? Because if you have a bowl of flour, and half of it is my mincha. What's the other half? Cannot be in a dava. Why? Because it cannot mix in the same bowl those 2 things. Hold on a second. You can't mix in those 2 things. You can't mix into the bowl 2 different karbanas. Elamai, half of it is my carbon, half of it is just mundane. But you cannot bring mundane into the Beis Hamikdash. You cannot bring chulin into the azara.
It turns into an adult.
No, it doesn't. It never does. It can't. Because...
The t'nai is...
No. Rebbe says you can't. You can't make it t'nai. Why? Because you cannot, first of all, you can't mix. Aleph...
Chulin la'azara, but you could change it into an adova, and then it's not chulin.
But if you change it into nedava, now you have a nedava and chayv in one kli, and you can't do that. You can't have a chayv and nedava in one kli. They can't touch each other. They can't be mixed with each other. Sorry.
Chulin?
B'tzad the nedava. B'tzad nedava and chayva cannot mix. They cannot mix 2 karbanas. You could mix chulin with the carbon, but the problem is that now you brought chulin, apples into the Beis Hamikdash. You're not going to take the chulin and change it into a carbon. It's not going to change. It is what it is, but it's chulin, and it's in the azara. So now you have simple apples, simple flour in the azara. Rebbe Savar also lahachnes chulin azara. You're not permitted to bring chulin to the azara. V'rabbanan savri mutar lahachnes chulin azara. You're not. The question: are you allowed to bring chulin into the azara? Yes or no? Rabbi Isai. In order to explain this just one more time, I'm not going to show you the whole thing. Don't worry about it. This is Itzik Leibovich. He's the one that inspired me to ask people to send in their things. Now, Rabbi, so here we go.
אתה הכנסת חולין לעזורה?
בוודאי שאני מכניס חולין לעזורה. ומה איתכם? מתי אתם מצטרפים? אני לא יודע מה איתכם, אבל אני עם אנרגיות בשמיים. יום שישי הקרוב מגיע וחולין נכנס לנו לחיים. אנחנו מתחילים מסכת חדשה. איזה גשמק הולך להיות, איזה אנרגיות, חברים. זה הזמן להצטרף. מספיק עם התירוצים, מספיק עם הדחיות. יום שישי קבענו חולין עם כל הברן.
חולין בעזור, רבוי סי, great. Mesechtes Chulin by the Sholha family. I'm very, very excited about this one. It's literally getting better and better. The pshat is getting better and shorter. This has 40 daf and it's thin. Tons of pictures, mamish, good stuff. Most of the dapim, and I was very, very into it from day one, that you shouldn't have to turn a lot of pages for pshat. Most of them only have 2 pages of translation, which we worked really hard to do that. Obviously, if it's a very long daf, but the amount of pictures, it's just getting better and better. By the time brachas rolls around, every single daf Bezer Hashem will have pictures. We're hiring more people for this. It's going to be unbelievable. I'm excited about this one. Anyway, it's available. Please do not call my brother. My brother said a few people called him up to find out how to get a Gemara. Call me. Call my wife. Anyways, this is available on mdydaf.com. On the first page, it's on top. Order Gemara, you can order there. Yishkoach Gadol to all the sponsors. Every daf has a sponsor. Every perek has a sponsor. The Masechta has a sponsor. Yishkoach the official edition. All right. I mean Meyer, not official. Yeah, I'm confused with official. Okay. Zok the Gemara. Rava Amar. No. So there's another mahalach here. Mahalach number one is, what Shilas, could I bring chulin to? No, everybody says Rav or Rabba, the kuli al me'os lachnas chulin azar. Everybody agrees you're not allowed to bring chulin to azar. Another simple machlokes. Can you mix in that same bowl the chulin with the chayva in the same bowl? So that solves all the problem. I can mix the chayva and the nedava, two different menachos into one bowl. So maximum, all you have to bring is 60. Within the 60, I'm going to have, part of it is going to be chayva. I'm going to make, I don't know how many. I make it tonight. Whatever it is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you know how many? It's 18. The rest is going to be a nedava. Since it's also to mix the chayva and nedava, so maybe I have to bring one of every type. Up to 60, 1830. You need to have two kmitzas. Says the Gemara, the comments, Rabbi Isai here, just do a shtickle. I was thinking to myself, the whole Menachos went by and I didn't make a live mincha here. It's crazy. And back in the day I did. With all the AI and everything. But for this sugya, I thought maybe this will help a little bit. Oh, whoa. It broke on the way. So, do you have a bowl over there? Some sort of bowl? Wow, that's not good. Okay. Fine. Let me put this on. Yeah, that's good enough. Perfect. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Well, what? That's coming up in a second. Not so much brayer, but I get what you're saying. Rabbi said, this is not an Eon shir. Whoever learned this be Eon, ask the questions in the koilel. That's the way of saying just. Okay, here we go. Where's that? Oh, that's the bowl? Okay, here we go. This is the chayva. This is the nedava. My printer, I apologize, the printer's not working so stark. Here we go. Oh, we're going to make a mincha. No, we're not going to make a mincha. We're going to do a kmitza at most. Just going for the bowl. Let's see how this works. I don't know. This might get all over your Gemara. Move it. Oh, silas. This is 60 sarin. Let's pretend. Put it over here. 60 sarin. So I go like this. Stick my hand in. Oh my gosh, this is mamish geschmack. I flip my hand over. And this is kmitza number one. Kmitza number one, I'm going to put into this bowl right over here. Now, it's possible that not everything in this bowl is a chayva. Maybe I didn't promise to bring 60. Maybe I promised to bring 30. So I have to take another kmitza, says the Gemara, another one for the rest of it, which is mincha number 2 in this bowl, which is an adava mincha. So I stick my hand again and do it like this. Turn it over. I gotta make sure I don't have too much on this side with my pinky like this. Here, this is my kmitza. Boom, dump it in here. Great. So now I have a chayva kmitza over here and a dava kmitza over here. Next, says the Gemara, when I took my kmitza out the very first time, I went like this and I put it in here. In this bowl, I have a little bit of my nedava. Because this whole thing is a little bit nedava, a little bit chayva. In my kmitza, there's a little part of it that is nedava. Problem. Why? Because my kmitza needs to be 100% perfect. I can't have too much and I can't have too little. A big part of it is not even a kmitza. It's not even a chayva. Says the Gemara. This guy that donated the 60, whatever he donated, he doesn't say what is what. He says, you know what? Let the kohen decide. When the kohen takes out, whatever he takes out, the kohen has the chayva. The first, whatever he takes out first, that should go towards, because you don't know which part of the flour is chayva, which part is nedava. It's only decided later. Okay, so the kohen decides that the first kmitza that he took is chayva. So that gets rid of that problem. And the second one should be nedava. Ask the Gemara, big problem. How do you put it on the mizbeach? Look at the nedava b'reisha. So let's check this out. Let's say I take this bowl and I put this on the mizbeach. Okay. Dilma. Oh, the chayva heicha maktila. How could I go ahead and put this one on the mizbeach? I cannot put the second bowl on the mizbeach, the chayva bowl. Why? Dilma kula chayva. Perhaps all 60 in this guy were all what I promised to bring originally. And then what? So now it comes out that this 60 is missing how much? This much. One kmitza that I put in here as an nedava is missing off the 60. You cannot bring this guy, chayva guy, onto the mizbeach if some of this is missing. If an animal comes and eats a little bit out of here, the shirayim is missing. This is shirayim left over. An animal comes and eats. I cannot put this on the mizbeach. Over here, it's not an animal. You took this plastic bowl and put a kmitz in here. You're like an animal. You took some of the shirayim out and put it over here. You have no right to do that. I don't know what to do. Now I can't put this on the mizbeach. Elamai, you put the chayv on first. Put this on first. That's also a problem. Dilma kulu chayv chazu shirayim. V'omer ma shirayim shechazim ben kmitz l'akdoro ein maktir komitz aleim. So what do you do? Haveitza lik the chayv b'reisha. So put this guy on first. Put this guy on first. Says the Gemara, no, then it'll be a problem. How do you put this on the mizbeach? I need to put this on the mizbeach because perhaps there's nedava in this bowl, the big bowl, and the nedava needs a kmitza, and the kmitza I have to put on the mizbeach, but I can't put this on the mizbeach. Why? Again, we're going with the assumption that perhaps, worst case scenario, all of this 60 in this silver thing is all part of my carbon. And therefore, what? And I already put this on the mizbeach. I put this bowl on the mizbeach. Now it's usher. It's issa deraisa to put anything else onto the mizbeach. Let's say I want to be a big tzaddik. I put this kmitz on the mizbeach, and then 10 minutes later I go into my bowl. I take another kmitz and put it on the mizbeach. I was over issa deraisa. I'm giving Hashem more. No, it says in the pasuk, "V'chol shu mimenu liishim hareu bebal taktiru." Once there was a fire, once the kmitza went onto the fire, anything in addition to that is issa deraisa about taktiru. Perhaps what's in this plastic bowl, the nedava part, is not nedava. Perhaps it's just part of the carbon, the chayva carbon. And now I'm sacrificing, I'm being makriv a second time when I'm not allowed to. You're only allowed to be makriv once, not twice. That's it. Okay. So says the Gemara. Omar Rabbi Yehuda, Bereder Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi, the mask lula shumeitzim. You know what you do? This nedava, you put on the mizbeach, and you say, if there's a nedava mincha in the thing, this should be my kmitza. But if not, I'm turning this into wood. I'm allowed to turn this into firewood. I need a burn. The mizbeach needs fire. It needs fuel. This is fuel. Here, I'll give you an example. We did this back in the day.
Your first maktir the chova?
You first maktir the chayva. First you maktir the chayva. Then the second, then the nedava. Second. Either it's a nedava or it's wood. But you have to go according to Rebbe Lazar in that. Here, we had this back in the day, just to remind the Olam.
אתה לא יכול לשרוף אותי.
You can't burn
אני
me.
קורבן של חוטא, אני לא נשרף, אסור לך.
אין מה לעשות. התערבבתם, היה פה ערבוב. חלקים של עולה וחלקים של חטאת. חייבים להעלות הכל למעלה.
אבל מה זה משנה? אנחנו קורבן חטאת.
קורבן.
אסור לך לשרוף אותנו.
You're not allowed to burn us with
קורבן?
carbon.
מעניין. תן לי לחשוב.
לא!
Oh. If you flip it in your mind to wood, then you're allowed to put it on this back. Otherwise, you're not allowed
מבחינתי
to.
אתם רק עצי הסקה.
Okay. So just like we had it in that sugya, we had in this sugya, that what? You take this flower right over here, this nadava flower, and you say either it's a nadava, it's a condition. Either it's a nadava, but if it's not, let it be wood. Malashum meitzim. You're allowed to put it up on the mizbech. You can't put it as a carbon. You can put it as wood. Oh. Oh no, I forgot to show that one. Okay, I'm going to show it. Nachman, you have to close your eyes for that one. This is coming up one. Adar Global, Specialist in International Financial Services, Chaim Milrad, Refuah Shleima, Imi Mirasi, Fradaletto, Bas Chana B'Sich Shar Chal Yisrael. Here, Rabbi Isai, how does a person forget? The whole sugya is the person forgot what mincha he was supposed to bring.
Behold, I pledge a Menachos Selis.
Mr. President, what kind of mincha did you pledge?
I don't remember.
He forgot which mincha. Quick, move. Bring all the options.
Move aside, Sleepy Joe. I'll show you how it's done properly. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
All right.
What is this? Who am I? What am I?
Loves it. I told you didn't listen to me. I told you close your eyes. You remember the Sinas Yisrael he had. That's right. We're going to remember it. You're right. Soini Yisrael.
Fine, you're right.
He's not worthy. He's not good. That's right. The Rabbanon, this is the Rebbe Lezer. Oh.
So what? The guy's dementia makes
Sleepy Joe. Oh, Rabbi Isai, maybe the machlokes is different. Not if you're allowed to be ma'ariv a chayva with an adava. You're not. Everybody holds you're allowed to. So if you're allowed to, so what's the problem? According to Rebbe, just bring 60 and say half of it is an adava, half of it is not. This gufa, what we just said, the part that's an adava, how do I put it on the mizbech? If I put it on the mizbech, it's a problem. I'm being makriv on the tzad that it's not in the dove. I'm being makriv something from the original chatas twice after it was already on the mizbech once. You can't do a second akrava. It's shumimenu liyishim. So they argue whether you could do this trick of switching it into wood or not. The Rabbanon listen to the Rebbe Lezer. Rebbe listen to the Rebbe Lezer. Okay. So what are you telling me? That according to Rebbe, you're allowed to mix a chayv and a dove into one bowl, and Rebbe doesn't hold the Rebbe Eliezer, you can't make it into wood. Oh, if you're allowed, you're permitted to mix the two, so look what I can do. This bowl, I put one isarn in this bowl. This bowl, I have 60. And then I touch them on the top. Like this. The flowers touch. What did I gain? I'm going to take the kmitza from over here. One kmitza. I'm going to take one kmitza from here. I save all issues. What was the problem? That I took two kmitzas from here, and the second kmitza, how am I going to put on the mizbech? I didn't take a second one from here. The second one was from a separate bowl. Just what? This second bowl is going to take care of all the nedavas in this bowl. How? By touching. You're allowed to do irvuv. You're allowed to mix. So I'm going to touch. Here, touches. This is the kmitza for all nedava in here. This is the kmitza for all the chayva in here. But I'm allowed to bring this on the mizbeach because this is not connected to this at all. It's not the second kmitza from here. It's its own original mincha. Huh? Yeah?
More than 60 sanakos.
No, but it's different bowls. Different bowls.
So how you married? Manasha.
No, they touch. The halacha they touch. It's not. They're not. It's in a separate. It didn't go bowls. It didn't change bowls. It's not 61 in here. It's 1 in here, 60 in here, and they just touch. It's the touching helps to that it could be pater the kmitza from here on there.
There's not 60 in there.
I hear what you ask. What?
There's not 60 in there anymore.
Yeah, there's not 60 anymore. Good point.
More than 60.
No, but he took out a kmitza. But okay, whatever. Zok the Gemara, all good kashas. None of these kashas they had answers for you. Oh, ooh. Of course not. You're learning biyun. Malay, so could I talk to Rabbi Mudulor of Chayv bin David Rabbi Lesley. There's my dishid b'chad mona, b'chad mona, umaglu v'komets. No, where? That I went back. Oh, so why did Rabbi not say this? It's a great answer. Rabbi didn't say it because he holds you can't mix. Let me just pause for a second. Shalom Aleichem to some guests. I saw some guests somewhere. Shalom Aleichem, no, not you. Okay. There was a guest over there. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name? From?
From the nation.
Shalom Aleichem, welcome. Who else? Rabbi Berg. Halavai. Okay, you want to come for Chulin?
I want to come for you.
Wow, Rabbi Berg. Rav Omar, another pshat. The Kulei Amim Mutular of Chayv ben Adava, or the Kulei Mislu the Rebbe Eliezer, Another mahalach. Again, let's go back. Rabbi say, we have a machloikis. This is for Rabbi Berg. If a person got confused and he made neder, he's going to bring a mincha and he has no clue what he said, how many Yisrainim. It could be 1 Yisrael, it could be up to 60 Yisrainim. So, Rabbi says, a wild idea. He has to bring 60 kalim and each one has a different amount. 1, 2, 3. A total of 1,830. Why? Why is 60 not enough? Just bring 60 and say, if I said 60, great. But if I said less than 60, so whatever I said is the chayv, and all the rest in that kli should be in a dava. So another pshat. Because the machlokes is in Rebbe Eliezer ben Yaakov. This not. We have a machlokes, a fundamental machlokes, how much oil is necessary for 60 isarein mincha. Either 60 lugim or 1 lug. And Memela, that answers the question. What's the answer? Because if in this bowl right over here, there's a mincha chayva and a mincha nedava, so according to one man Omer, you'd need 2 lug, because it's 2 separate menachos. According to one man Omer, you need 1. We don't know. It's either 1 mincha or 2 menachos. Memela, that's the shaila. How much oil to bring? Do you bring 1 lug or 2 lugim? And since I don't know, you can't bring the mincha. You have to do it all. You have to go all the way to 1830. If it's a large mincha of 60, all you need is 1 lug. So you either need 1 lug or 2 lugim. According to Rabbanon, in the 60 bowl, you need 60 lug of oil. And Rebbe holds, no, you only need 1 lug for 60. But since this is possible, that's 2 different minachas, you need 2 lug. But what if it's only 1 mincha? So you need 1 lug. So now I'm confused. I don't know if I should bring 1 or 2. I don't know if it's 1 mincha, all it needs is 1 lug. Or it's 2. This one I relate to the most. This is like mamish easy. What's machlokes? Rav Ashi Omer b'kotem v'hevi gola k'mifligi. Super easy. Everybody's not going to understand. No one here is going to understand Rebbe. The shaila is, if a person says, I want to bring 1 isar of a mincha, can I bring 60? Stum. Why not? I want to be large. I said I'm going to bring 1 bag of flour. I'm going to bring 60. Rebbe says you're not allowed to do that. That's not your neder. Your neder is 1. Stick to your neder. Memela, I can't bring a 60 bowl. So for every mincha that it's possible, I have to make every single possibility. 60 possibilities. That's it. Because the maybe Golik and Miflagi. He didn't make this up, Rav Ashi, because they argue about the same exact thing by an animal. I just think it might be a good Musar Haskell for us. If a person accepts upon himself a Kabbalah, he says, you know what, starting Chulin, I'm going to learn an extra 10 minutes, I'm going to do Chazara. So he does it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. All of a sudden he says, you know what, 10 minutes is nothing. Let me a half hour. What happens, Rabbi Isai? He falls and doesn't do anything. Tafas Meruba. If you have a nether katan, you stick to your nether katan. Don't jump to the nether gadol. Stick to it until it's really part of you. Part of you had another 10 minutes. I think it's human nature, no? Rabbi Berg. People, this is nothing. 10 push-ups a day, I can do 1,000. They jump too fast and then Zog the Gemara. That's good. That's what because maybe Gal Yatza Rebbe Amilo Yatza. Oh, sorry. Yeah. This exact machlokes is the same to the Tanakama and Rebbe. This nan. Maybe Gadol he donated. He said he's going to bring a small bull, a small one, 1,000-pounder. Ve'evi Gadol brought a 2,000-pounder Yatza. Rebbe Amilo Yatza. You believe this? You can't bring larger than you were neither. So what's the difference between a mincha and a bull? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. There's one kmitza for a 60 isar mincha. There's one kmitza for a 1 isar. The kmitza, what goes on this bech, is identical in size. Avalas and by animals, the imurim that we bring onto the mizbeach, you're supposed to bring the innards, the kloyos, the skirt steak, all these things. As large as the animal is, that's how comparatively speaking, the emurim are going to be larger. 2,000-pound animal is emurim are going to be double. That's why you changed your nether. You said you're going to bring 100 pounds of emurim onto the mizbeach, and you brought 200 pounds. Maybe Chacham agreed in that case that you can't do that. Maybe Rebbe only said it by an animal because you're literally bringing more onto the mizbeach. But when it comes to a mincha, maybe he admits Rabbanan. Sricha. Should we do the Mishnah? We can do the Mishnah. This is the only time in Shas Rabbi Isai that there's a siman before a Mishnah. I looked it up this morning. In the Mishnah, obviously there's no siman. The siman is an Amarayim kind of thing, or maybe Rabbanan Savra, I don't know. Siman, Eitzim Zav, Yain, Oila, Toida, Shar, these are all part of, a lot of it is for the next Mishnah. This Mishnah says, Harei Elai Eitzim, if a person says, I want to bring wood to the Mizbeach, Lo Yivchos Mishnei Gzirim, he has to bring at least 2 pieces that have to do with the Mizbeach. 2 pieces. The size of the Mizbeach, the size that you bring in the morning. Lo Yivchos Mishnei Gzirim. Levayna, and if he says, I'm going to bring frankincense, Levayna, Lo Yivchos Mikoimetz. Have to have, I never did Kmitza on Levayna. Do Kmitza on Levayna. Before then, the Masechta. Doesn't matter without a thing. Do you make a brach on this stuff? Here. Oh. I love this Levina. Hold on, putting it back. Zog to Gemara. Says the Mishnah. Levina levichas mekaymetz. If a person donates a Levina, he means 1 kmitza like this. Says the Mishnah, Chamisha kmatzim heim. There are in fact 5 different kmitzas when it comes to Levina. Hoimer, alai Levina. When a person says, I'm accepting upon myself Levina, leivchos mekaymetz, he shouldn't give less than 1 kmitza. Hamanadav mincha, and any mincha, the 5 menachos that we saw, the soilas, marcheshes, machvas, chalas rikikin, yavi mekaymetz Levina, it should have 1 kmitza of Levina. Hamalas hakaymetz b'chutz. If you take this kmitza of Levina and you makriv it in your house, chayav. Same thing it would be if you take this kmitza and put it on the mizbech for not the right reason. Shnei bezichin. What's the 2 bezichin, Rabbi Isai? Take a look at this to remind the olam. I was thinking to myself that before we learned Menachos, we weren't all very familiar with the shulchan and the bezichin. If you said bezichin to somebody, ask a yeshiva guy, what's bezichin? It's bezichin, shmezichin. What's bezichin? It's the 2 spoons. And in each spoon, there's 1 kmitza worth of levina. Shnei kmotzim. Hari elai zav. If a person says, I'm going to donate gold, lo yivchaz medina zav, it shouldn't be less than the minimum small coin of zav. Kesef, if he says silver, lo yivchaz medina kesef, it should be 1 dinar of kesef. The choishes do not bring the smallest coin of copper. That's not proper. Lo yivchaz mimah kesef. Pirashti v'nidem pirashti. If a person says, I don't know what I specified, maybe this is beautiful. Maybe keep on giving, and when it comes to 100, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, oh no, that can't be that much. There's a guy, real quickly, in yeshiva, he was selling cake, and Bochum, he sold cakes, but when he came, he said, you know what, you could take it on, every time he came to give the cake out, you could take it and pay me later. So Bochum eventually, like when they wanted to do tshuva, like before they got married, or after they got married, they got a little chasen money, they come to him and say, listen, I don't know how many cakes I ate. I don't know. Take 1,000 shekel. So he'd say, no, I'm not moichel. You want me to be moichel? I'm not moichel. What do you mean you're not moichel? So you had to write it down. It's your problem. So how much should I pay? Pay until you feel like you paid me like that. That's enough. Don't give me this 1,000 shekel shtick and try to get all those cakes for free. You take cake, write it down. Rabbi Say, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDY.com.